Okay, so today we're going to start off with, we had our story, A Piece of Home. All right, so I want to read this for you. It says, characters. Characters are all the people that are in our stories, right? Okay, so it says characters are people. They could be animals. They could even be a weird creature, right? From outer space even, okay? But what kind of characters do we have in our story, Riley?
The kid.
We have the little boy, Hey June.
And his grandma.
Hey June and his grandma. Who else is in it?
His dad.
His mom and dad. And one more. Oh, yeah, remember?
His sister.
His sister, say Rock. Okay?
Rock.
So, we have people. Okay? No animals or creatures, but people. Now it says picture and text clues describe what characters they say, they think, and they do. Now, when we looked at Hey June in a lot of the story, you could tell on his face, right, how he was feeling, right, when he was in the beginning of the story, okay? So at the very beginning, when he was in Korea, how did he feel? What did he think and say? Okay, Julianne?
He felt happy.
He was happy, right? He was speaking Korean to his classmates and to his friends and his family. He could talk and communicate no problem. He was a happy boy. He was at school. He was very ordinary, right? You guys said, I'm just ordinary. I'm like everybody else. Okay, so let's draw a little picture to kind of go with that in the first box in the top. Okay, so let me just get my pencil here ready. Okay, we'll say that he was happy and ordinary. Those are two words to describe how he felt. Okay, so I'm going to draw a big smile too. He was very happy. So he was happy and ordinary. Those are two great words to describe how he was feeling. So make him a smiley face, right? And he was happy and just ordinary. Because he could speak to his friends, he could talk to everybody, he knew who everybody was. So just happy and ordinary at the very beginning. Everyone's in the top box, correct? Good? All right. Yes.
After D, what was?
In ordinary, it's D-I, O-R-D-I, and then N-A-R-Y. Okay. Oh, sorry, am I blocking you, Dean?
Yep.
So sorry, I'll get out of the way. Okay. All right, so now, in the middle of the story, Hey June is in West Virginia. Okay? When he gets to West Virginia, how does he start to change a little bit? What is he thinking, saying, and doing? Okay, Valentina?
He feels, sad.
Totally sad, right? So right away, I'm going to change his face to sad. He totally changed from being this happy little boy to being very sad. Okay? He couldn't speak the same language. Nobody understood him. Okay? He really had a hard time just feeling like he really fit in. He felt different. Okay? So we're going to say he's sad. So sad's a good word to describe how he's feeling. And the way he was thinking, he thought, I'm just so different now than everybody else. So we're going to use the word sad and the word different. Now he was very different from everybody else. He felt sad, and he definitely was feeling and looking different. And he even looked different than everybody else, right? In his head, he's like, oh, I am just not like everyone else. I don't like it here. I'm not feeling really good about myself. Okay. But then, at the very end of the story, as he's still in West Virginia, right, they're still there, we have some things changing and turning around. How does Hey June start to feel then at the very end of the story, Jenna?
Happy.
He starts to feel kind of this, a little bit of, comfort inside. He starts to feel comfortable with his surroundings, right? Did he make a friend?
Yeah.
that with Steve, he starts to feel ordinary again, right? He makes a friend, and he even goes outside and plays with it, okay? So, how do you think his face is going to feel now? Well, how should we put it rated? Maybe happy again. I think at the very end, he's finally back to being, you know, his face was finally not maybe as happy as he was, but we could still put a smile on his face. So we'll change his face again. And I think that we should put in there that he makes a friend. Let's put that in there, right? Because that's how he's thinking inside now. Yes, I have a friend. Things are starting to look up, right? So let's put that. He
I made the biggest smile.
makes
On me.
a friend. So that's just a short sentence, so I don't have to put a period at the end. He makes a friend. So now, remember, write it kind of small, so you have 4 words to put in there. He makes a friend.
This is D.
So this is something that he does.
Is this one?
Yes, that's a D. Yeah, make it tall, the line. Very good. Okay. All right, so it's important to make sure that when you go back and you read a story, it's good to know how these characters are acting. We talked a lot about his feelings, but then what is he thinking inside of his head, right? And what is he doing in the story? What are his actions? So today I want to make sure we go over those just a little bit more from the beginning all the way to the end. So luckily, it was a happy ending, right? He didn't go back to South Korea, or I'm sorry, just to Korea, not to South Korea, but he did at least start to feel a little bit more at home, especially when he saw what, too. What was the one thing that we saw that really made him feel like a piece of home was with him, Alina?
That little flower.
The flowers, yes, okay. We call them Rose of Sharon, and his was the Gagumsha bush. Man, oh man, now I can't even remember how to pronounce it. They called it oh, now I gotta look it up. See, this is the thing I have that. The Magumwa, okay? Magumwa blossom, but we call it Rose of Sharon, okay? All right, very good. All right, guys, when you have that done, go ahead and make sure you put a period at the end. And look, you can write the right one. You're supposed to do the bottom one. He makes a friend. You started writing the wrong thing. Okay. He makes a friend. Okay? You gotta do that last of the 4 words. Okay. Then go ahead and put that away.